Hello, Flosstube. Happy Sunday. It is February 23rd. My name is Melissa, and I am Stitcher Mel here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on my blog at stitchermel.com. It's been a couple of weeks since my last video, and in that interim, I have celebrated a birthday. So thank you all for the birthday wishes and for the Flosstube-iversary wishes from my last video. I really appreciate that. For my birthday, a lot of you reached out on Instagram and Facebook, sending me private messages wishing me a happy birthday, so I really appreciate that. And for many of my real life friends who have my phone number, who either texted or called or sent cards, thank you so much. I'm getting to an age where, birthdays are kind of like a reminder that I'm getting older. And so, but it's nice to have it still celebrated, and for people to take the time to reach out and let you know they care, especially on your birthday. It's really nice. So thank you all so much for that. I appreciate it. First thing I want to talk about today is Nashville Market. It is coming up 2 weeks from this weekend. Things will probably actually kind of be wrapping up about this time in a couple of weeks. It is taking place March 6th through the 8th. And even though it's called the Nashville Needlework Market, it is actually taking place in Franklin, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. I actually used to live there. For those of you who don't know, I am originally from Tennessee. Spent the first 32 years of my life there. Almost 33. I moved to California about a month before my birthday back in 1997. So I have now been here for 23 years, which is crazy. But yeah, so I grew up in a really small town in Middle Tennessee and then went to Nashville for college. And after college, I just stuck around and stayed in the Nashville area and lived in 2 or 3 different places in and around the Nashville area during that time, 10-year interim, before I moved to Southern California. And part of that time was in Franklin. So I'm very familiar with that area. It's a very nice suburb of Nashville. So, but anyway, what I wanted to talk about specifically was if you're not following a Nashville Needlework Market stuff on social media, either via Facebook or Instagram, you might want to. More so than it seems to me in years past. This year, it seems like we're getting a lot more, not just sneak peeks, but full-on previews of what the designers are going to be releasing at market. And a lot of the shops are requesting that you pre-order those items. So that way they have a good count when they go to market. Obviously, as you know, shops don't have a whole lot of money to just frivolously spend on designs. They need to make sure they're getting stuff their customers want, and doing pre-orders is a great way for that to happen. I know a lot of them were saying they needed their pre-orders in by today. I've seen another shop saying they need them by Wednesday. So we're kind of getting down to the barrel here of getting your pre-orders in. So if you have not pre-ordered anything from market and there are things you want, I would encourage you to reach out to either your local needlework store or your favorite online shop if you don't have a local store, and let them know those things that you want to pre-order so that they can be sure to get those for you while they're at market. I have pre-ordered 2 items that I'm super excited about. One of them is the Well-Rounded series by Kathy Haberman, or Haberman, I believe is the correct pronunciation. I'll put a picture of that here. This is it's a single chart. It's not going to be released in multiple parts like some of our other series are. But this Well-Rounded series covers all 4 seasons. They are graduated in size. Each hoop is a little bit larger than the one before it. And so I have pre-ordered this fully kitted, including the finishing kits and trims and everything, from Dreama at Needlecraft Corner. She is one of my favorite online shops. And so I'm excited to get that. The other item I have pre-ordered is Token of Love from With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. This I just love, because I love Quakers anyway, and the colors in this are just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really excited to get my hands on that one. In looking at it, I think it's intended to be an anniversary sampler because the initials appear to be Brenda's and her husband, and it says 1980, so I'm guessing that's the year they were married or met or something. And so since I am no longer married, my thought is I am going to do this as a memorial anniversary sampler for my paternal grandparents. So I will be putting their initials on it and 1935, which is the year they got married. So that's my plans for that one. And again, that is Token of Love by Brenda Gervais. Okay, so that's it for Market. Get your pre-orders in if you haven't already. So I do have one finish since I was with you last, and it's in my sunflower and polka dot project bag from Dot Dot Goose. And this is actually also a piece of haul because I did purchase this chart since my last video. This is Hello Spring from Stitching with the Housewives. And I believe Priscilla drew it, the chalkboard art, and then Chelsea charted it. I believe that's the right order. I hope I got that right. But it is from Priscilla and Chelsea. They have opened a new Etsy shop, and there is now a second chart that matches this. It's a series, and it's Cluck, I think. No, that's not right. Because I think it's a rabbit. Somebody changed this to say Cluck. That's where I got the Cluck. I can't remember what the rabbit one says, though. But anyway, there's a little bunny out of a cup, sticking out of a cup. And they designed these for to go on these tins that are available at Michael's. And there is a third one. I don't think the chart has been released yet, but I have heard there is a third one coming. So, because they were encouraging people, if you want to do the whole series, get the 3 tins before they sell out at Michael's. So, anyway. So, here is my version of Hello Spring. I decided to leave the word spring off and just make it say hello, so I could leave it out potentially year-round. And I stitched mine on 36 count gunmetal linen, and because I was using a gray instead of a black, the gray chicken was not showing up very well, so I recharted mine in kind of reddish browns and yellows, because when I was a little girl growing up on our farm in Tennessee, we always had Rhode Island red chickens, and so I made mine look like a Rhode Island red. So, yep. So, yeah, that was a really fun stitch. Oh, and I did make one other change. I used all the called for fibers with the exception of the mug. It called for 12 grain, which I did not have at the time. I do now, but I didn't have it at the time. So I substituted and used 3865 DMC. And obviously, I changed the colors for the rooster as well. I believe I used Wood Rose and Butter Crunch, I think. I have it on my blog from where I posted the finish. I have the color conversion there. So, yeah. So that was Hello Spring. And that was my only finish. Someone did comment, and I don't remember now who, I apologize, and said, hey, I'm a new subscriber. Although I almost didn't because you had 5 finishes in your last video, which I did reassure her. That is not the norm. So as you can see, not the norm. I only have 1 this time. So there you go. Okay, so now we will move on to whips. And the first one I have, which I believe I showed this last video, but I did do a bit more stitching on it. This is the Rose Quaker. Oh. By Vienberg Designs. So yeah, and I'm using the call for DMCs because I just think they're gorgeous. And I am stitching this on 36 count Winter Moon linen from Zweigart. Love that. So that is my progress on Rose Quaker. Oh, I forgot to show the picture. Hang on one moment. Right here. That's what it will look like. And so as you can see, I barely have a start on it. This is a very large sampler. I don't remember what the stitch count is. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. 251 by 331. So yeah, this is a big girl. So that is my Rose Quaker. But here are the DMCs. Aren't those colors just absolutely stunning? I did make the mistake when I was getting my flosses for this, because you can see here I've got, like, you know, multiples, you know, on here, because I bought the recommended number, like 2 skeins of some, 3 skeins of some. Totally forgetting that it is charted to be stitched on 32 count 2/2, and I'm doing 36 count 1/2. So I have way too much floss, but that's okay. It's DMC. I can always use it. Just keep that in mind when you're kitting things up, you know, that keep in mind what size of fabric and how many strands you're using and stuff. You know, it'll save you from overbuying. Okay, the next one I have is working more on my Pumpkin Farm series. I am on the final block, which is Pumpkin Patch. This is by Shannon Christine Designs. And I am stitching this on 32 count Heartland Lugana. And so there's where I am at on this one. I've got the scarecrow in. Let me fold this around so you can see it a little bit better. I got the scarecrow in and a couple of the pumpkins, got them started. Yep. And I used this for a Magical Stitches homework prompt for last week. We had to stitch on something with eyes. We needed 100 stitches on a project with something with eyes. So yeah, I used the scarecrow because he has eyes. Okay. And I really want to try and get this one finished this week if I can. Because it is one of my Stitch 6 projects for the year. I know a lot of people are doing Stitch 10 and 20. I had actually, because I wasn't sure if Michelle was going to do another Stitch 9. And I had already came up with the plan to do Stitch 6 and then 20 small. So it's the year of 6. The year of smalls and 6 is what, you know, my friend Tracy, she's my best friend, and she's on Flosstube as Tracy Stitches. That's what we had already decided. So I just left that in place after Michelle had announced she was doing the Stitch 10 and 20. Because I knew I wouldn't have time probably to finish 10 of my larger whips, plus get 20 smalls done as well. So, and this project is in my Olivia bag that Tracy gave me. Love it. Most of my stuff are in these. So this is the Friends and Family Mystery Sal from Linens and Threads. I did not print out the February that shows the new part, but yeah, so this is a mystery, so we don't know what it will look like yet in the end. But I did do the February portion. And here is that. So in February, oops, let's fold it around backwards. In February, we added these 2 small motifs, this half motif, and the flower pot. So those were my February additions. I am stitching this on 40 count mallow linen from Zweigart. And I am using Threadworks Bleeding Hearts. It's a variegated cotton. And the number on that one is color 1089. And I bought the 20-yard skeins of it. And obviously on 40 count, I'm just using one strand over 2. And I bought 3 of the 20-yard skeins. That may be way too much, but I would rather have too much than not enough. So that is my progress on that one. So it's put away for now until next weekend when the new next part is released. Okay, and now we're going to get into the new starts, because I have apparently had a really bad case of startitis. The first thing I have started since the last video, let me find the photo, is Baby It's Cold Outside by Heartstring Samplery. So pretty. I had kitted this up back in the fall because I was going to participate in Barb and Leanne's Sal, the Baby It's Cold Sal, and then got sidetracked and never started it. And then, sadly, as you may remember, recently, Leanne passed away after a very brave battle with breast cancer. And Jen Lee from Quirks and Stitches and Julie from Gulf Coast Stitcher kind of rebooted the Sal. And so, in Leanne's memory. So, since I already had it kitted, I decided I would certainly participate. And so the Sal started last Friday night, February 14th, Valentine's Day, which is very fitting. And here is how far I've gotten so far. I got the house done. Hang on, I'm trying to fold this fabric. And this is the called for fabric, 36 count Ale. I believe that's right. Let me double check. Yes, 36 count Ale, using the called for fibers. I've made no substitutions on this one at all. And since this reboot happened in Leanne's memory, Beth Twist has released an optional modification to the chart, and it's kind of hard to see on here because of the cup in the picture, but she took out a couple of these little trees here and put in a large cardinal, and that was something I think that came about because Julie, Gulf Coast Stitches, had mentioned that to her, and I don't know if it's something that is from where she's, her part of the country. I've never heard of it, but she said that cardinals represent those who we've lost and loved, you know, back to let us know they're okay, kind of thing. And while I like the chart that Beth designed, the bird is as big as the house, this smaller part of the house. And I decided I just didn't want that large of a bird. So I am planning to stitch a very small cardinal and either put it on one of the trees, sitting in the tree, or maybe put it on the roof of one of the houses. So I saw someone who did it. I think she put it on top of the O in Roar, had a little tiny cardinal over one sitting on the O. So yeah, so that's what I'm planning to do, because I do like the idea of the cardinal, you know, on there for, especially for Leanne's memory. But I just don't want it to be that big one that Beth charted. No disrespect to Beth, but I kind of want a tiny little cardinal. I want it to be more in scale with the houses. So that is that piece. Next up, another new start. When my birthday start kind of went awry, I ended up deciding to pull out my Scary Apothecary series. I bought this fully kitted, bought everything right at market last year. In fact, I think I pre-ordered it. And here we are back market time again, and I haven't even started a single one of these until now. So on my birthday, I started Bitter Brew. If memory serves, I believe the 3B charts came out first, because they're all alliteration type things. And then I believe the C's were next and the S's were last, if memory serves. So I decided to start with the B's. And as you can see, like I say, fully kitted everything. I've got all my fabrics. I've got all the Krynics. I've got all the flosses. I've got all the charts. So yeah. Oh, and these are the extra flosses because some of them needed multiples. Yeah, so I've got everything. So, and this is, hang on, let me look at my notes for what the fabric is. This is 32 count Winter Wishes from Stephanie. And let me tighten this up. I still have this on the Q-snaps. So this is where I've gotten so far on that. And I'm fairly close, I think. I mean, yeah, I still got the birds and stuff to do, but once I can get this big piece knocked out, the rest should stitch up fairly quickly. So I'm kind of maybe hoping I can get this one done this week too, to give me this and Pumpkin Farm, give me a couple of more finishes for February. I think I only have 2 finishes so far maybe this month. So it's not been a terribly productive month for finishing because I've been starting all the things. So yeah. But at least I know I'm not alone. I know Shannon had mentioned in one of the Facebook groups, she's been starting a lot of stuff. Her channel, the M&M Stitchers, I think, Michigan and Minnesota, something like that. And then I saw a post from Carla Rolodex on Instagram that she's been starting all the things. So yeah, at least I'm not alone in my raging case of startitis. And speaking of which, I have another one. I'm looking to see if I can find a picture of the design without showing the chart. Yeah, here we go. This is Adjust Your Sails by Little Dove Designs. I think that is so cute. This originally appeared in the UK Cross Stitcher magazine, but she has the rights back now and has released it, and it's available in her Etsy shop. When it was in Cross Stitcher magazine, they did do some modifications to the chart. They didn't use the overdye floss she called for the water, and they added some Krynic braids to it that she did not originally have. So I am doing her version from her Etsy shop as she quote unquote intended for it to be. And I am stitching this on 32 count Stormy Sea Linen from Fabric Flair. And I started this on Friday night, just a couple of nights ago. So I've gotten this far on it so far. And you see that spot right there? Yeah. Let me give you a cautionary tale. And I don't have it with me to show you, but Diana, it is Kismet Stitches, a while back had posted a video on her Instagram, and it wasn't a story, it was in her normal feed, so you can still get to it, and was talking about a new to her tool called a burling iron, which you can use to remove the slubs in linen fabric. And I thought, well, that is an awesome tip. And so I didn't buy the burling iron that she was using because in looking at it, it looked extremely similar to the splinter tweezers I have. Basically, you just need a super sharp tweezer. And you can go watch Diana's video on her Instagram to see how to use it. But it works great. And so I had a slub on this fabric. And so I used my little tweezers, removed it beautifully. But since this is Fabric Flair fabric, it's a printed fabric. This is not a dyed fabric. You see, it's white on the back because they just print this image on the front side. And when I so beautifully removed the little slub, I also removed all the ink from that spot. So yeah, now I've got this little white blob on my fabric. I do have a large collection of, I'm looking over there because that's where they are, a large collection of Copic markers. Large collection meaning, yeah, I have all the colors, a full set, that I use for card making and paper crafting. So, and they're alcohol ink markers. So I'm going to see, if you look up here on the edge, you can see, let me flip it around this way. I've got a little bit of a selvage up here where there's some white right next to the blue. So I'm going to use this area to test to see if I can come up with a close match, a super close match, and use the Copic marker to fill it in so it doesn't stand out. If that does not work and I can't find a good color, my thought is I'm just going to elongate this little cloud here at the bottom a little bit. No, put a tail running off of it, so to speak, a trail, a cloud trail to cover that spot. Because as it stands right now, no stitching is going to cover that. So, yeah, so annoying. But, so cautionary tale, if you watch Diana's video and decide, oh yeah, Burling iron, that's awesome, I need one of those, which you need one of those. Just take my word for it. You need one of those if you work on linen. Just be sure you're using dyed linen and not stamped, painted, or printed. Anything where the color is only on the front half of the fabric, because you risk that happening. So, lesson learned. Okay, so let me put this away. And then my final whip is one more new start. And I started this one late Thursday night and only put a few stitches in on it. But then I worked on it all day yesterday. And this is Winter Chalkboard by Kathy Haberman. And this originally appeared in, I think, the 2018 Keepsake calendar. I think that's right. Either 2017 or 2018. But you can get it now available as an individual purchase from Hirschner's. And I think it might have been like $3.99. I don't know. Don't quote me. But yeah. Anyway, super cute. And there's been such a resurged interest in it recently. There is a Sal group for it on Facebook. It's HOD Chalkboard Sal, I think maybe the name of it. Something like that. If you're in the Hands-On Design Stitchers group, you can find the information for the Sal group there as well. But because of all the renewed interest in this, Kathy has decided she is going to kind of do a reboot on this and do a series. I think she said there'll be 4. Because she no longer owns the rights to this, Hirschner's owns the rights to this one, she can't chart exactly like this. So what she's going to do is she's going to do the other 3 seasons, spring, summer, and autumn. And then she's going to do a 4th winter, another winter as well. So it will not be exactly like this one, obviously, but she didn't want to have the other 3 charts and ask shop owners to carry it when there wouldn't be a 4th one. So for people who missed out on this one. So she is going to do another winter one, which you could or could not stitch. If you're stitching this one, you could just use this one for your winter and not stitch the other one. Or you could stitch the other one and not stitch this one, but none of the others have been released yet or designed at this point. Kathy's been very busy with market, and so she hasn't started it, but her plan is to release a similar series with all 4 seasons. But I'm going on and stitching this winter one for now because I think it's super cute. And then I will decide if I'm going to stitch the other winter later or if I'm just going to keep this one and use it. So here is what I've gotten done so far. Oh, my fibers are stuck to my magnet. Too funny. These are the called for fibers, most of them. The only thing I am not, because she called for chalk, Gentle Arts, for the chalk, for the words. And I am using Sulky 1071, which is off-white. This is the 330 yard spool. So this is equivalent to like, I think I figured out like 12 or 13 skeins of DMC. So yeah. So that's what I've gotten done. I think it's so cute. Super, super cute. Yep. And oh, I don't know if I said it, this is 32 count gunmetal. So I finished the little chicken, Hello Spring chicken in the mug. That was on 36 count gunmetal. This is 32 count gunmetal. And that is Weeks Dye Works. And you can kind of tell the difference whether it is the new Weeks or the old Weeks based on the stitch counts, because previously Weeks linen came in 30 count and 35 count. And now that they are transitioning to Zweigart linen for their base, yay! That makes me super happy. They're going to be 32 and 36, which are Zweigart counts. But most of the shops are putting Zweigart, you know, parenthetically after the linen name, just so you'll know on the Weeks. But if they don't, if it's a 32 or a 36, you're going to be fairly safe that it's a Zweigart base. Okay, so that takes care of all of my whips. So that brings us to haul. And first, on my haul, I wanted to start and share a few birthday cards I got. I've got 3 here. The first one is from Pam. Not Pam just in Just Keep Stitching, a different Pam. But isn't that a beautiful card? It's so pretty. I love that die cut. And these are all handmade cards, by the way. The beauty of being a card maker is you generally get handmade cards from your friends. So thank you for that one, Pam. The next one is from a local friend who is also a stitcher and a fellow paper crafter. So we have 2 things in common. And she lives just like a mile away from me. So her name is Darla. I don't know if she watches my Flosstube or not. But yeah, this is the card I got from Darla. How pretty is that? Beautiful coloring. Yeah, she stamped that and then colored in the iris. And the iris is one of my absolute favorite flowers, only because it was my grandmother's favorite flower. I have a very large tattoo on my right thigh that is a hummingbird hovering over an iris, because those were her 2 favorite things. She loved hummingbirds and she loved irises. And then it has her name. It says Gran in a really fancy frilly script. I got it after she passed away in memory of her. But yeah, beautiful card. Thank you, Darla. And then the last one, you've all heard me talk about my BFF, Tracy. Her mother made this one for me, which is super pretty. It says, Make a Wish. And again, a handmade card. Yep. So pretty. So thank you, Anita. I know you do watch my YouTube videos. So thank you for that. Okay, so that's the cards. So next is going to be what I got from Tracy for my birthday. Bundle of goodies. The first thing she got me was a chart from my wish list on 123. It is the Brown Bird Biscornu from Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist. How beautiful is that? Absolutely gorgeous. Love that. And then all of the called for fibers. Really pretty colors. Let's see if I can get those straightened out. Gorgeous. And then a piece of 40 count platinum linen. So there's all the colors on the linen. Really pretty. Yep. And then she also got me a piece of 28 count cobweb linen. This was also on my wish list because I want to use it to stitch Spell of the Moon by Blackbird Designs on it. Super cool. And as you can tell, this is also a fabric flare. So this is one of those fabrics you would need to be careful if you use a burling iron on, because it's just white on the back. It's printed. Really cool. Okay, so let me put that away. forgot the chart. Trying to keep everything together. Next, this one was a complete surprise. And I know this person also watches my Flosstube. Hi, Jill. She got me, you've all heard me talk about this and how much I wanted it, but I wasn't buying it because I hadn't finished the first one yet. But she got me Sleeping Bee by the Blue Flower. Oh, I love all the things bees. So excited for this. It calls for 40 count vintage fawn linen from Lakeside. And when I checked on 123Stitch, they do not have that one. But it's just a neutral linen. And I think I'm going to use the platinum that Tracy got me for my Biscorno because she bought me a fat quarter and it only needs a fat eighth. So I'm going to have a fat eighth of this left, which should be plenty large enough for doing Sleeping Bee on. So Tracy, unbeknownst to her at the time she was making the purchase, bought me fabric for 2 projects. Or actually 3, I guess, because she also bought me the cobweb fabric. But yeah. Okay, so that takes care of birthday gifts. I did pick up a couple of new needle minders. And this one, ironically, I got before I knew I was going to get the other bee chart. But yeah, and as you can see, these are from Mad for Minders on Etsy. They are my absolute favorite needle minder shop. And they don't just do needle minders now. They are doing market pre-orders and you can buy charts through them. They're becoming a full, slowly transitioning to being more of a full service Etsy shop. But they have lots of amazing needle minders. And then I got the I Descent Ruth Bader Ginsburg Notorious RBG. Yep. So I got those. And the next thing I got were these gorgeous silk. These have to come out. I got these gorgeous silks from Silks For You. How beautiful are those? This is one of their color match sets. This is color match CM081, and I'm dropping one of them. So basically you've got the variegated, and then you get the 3 solids to match the variegated. So pretty. And so what I have decided I am going to use these for is the Sarah Storrs Quaker from Modern Folk Embroidery. And if you're not aware, Fiber Talk, the Fiber Talk podcast, Vanna and Gary, they are starting a Modern Folk Embroidery SAL on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when you want to start. A lot of people are starting on Tuesday because it's Fat Tuesday, February 25th. Or if you want to do it, I think they chose these dates because Vanna had done a Lenten SAL last year on her Jesus piece that she stitched. And so she is doing another religious inspired piece by Modern Folk Embroidery as her Lenten piece this year. So you could either start this on Fat Tuesday or on the next day on Ash Wednesday. So I am personally not a religious person, so I don't know when exactly I'll be starting mine. I may start it Tuesday though. I still need to figure out, because this was, charted as a monochromatic, I still need to figure out the color mapping of where I'm going to use what color in the piece. I definitely want to use the variegated for all the flower type pieces. And I want to use, obviously, the green for all of the foliage areas. But I still need to decide where I'm going to work in the teal and purple solids. So, yeah. So that is the plan for that. And then the fabric I'm going to use, this is the fabric I had cut and had started cardinal points on. This is 36 count Winter Moon. It was too warm for cardinal points, but I think it will work beautifully with these silks if I can get them lined up. So yeah, so that's my plan. And then included in the package from Silks For You, she also sent me this really cute little mini, I don't know if that's going to focus, this mini needle minder. It's really tiny. It's about 3/4 of an inch. And it's got like an epoxy dome on it. Yeah, it's really pretty. So I will be using that. I don't generally use specific needle minders with specific projects. I have, you can see one, I've got a couple of these. You can see it right here in the background. I have these standing metal, I don't know. It's almost like one of those clear acrylic picture frames, but it's just a sheet of metal and it wraps around the bottom. It has a little stand on it, so it's freestanding. And I just keep all my needle minders on those. So these are the ones I'm not currently using in my rotation of needle minders. And then in the living room next to my stitchy chair, that's where I have the ones I'm currently using. So, okay, so that is Silks For You. I don't have them in here. I've already put them away, but I did get my February floss of the month from Crazy Annie's. I posted a picture of that on Instagram, and I will try and remember to put a picture of it right here. But if I forget and I'm just sitting here dangling my finger in the air, you can head over to Instagram, and they're all pinks and reds. They're beautiful. So, okay, and now I've saved the big part of haul for last. And you can hear the crinkling. I should have unwrapped all of these. I apologize in advance for not doing that. But as you know, I discovered Bestitch Me, Brandy, discovered her gorgeous fabrics, and I am full on blaming Nicole from XStitches. She, I think, was the first person who got me sucked in on them. Carla from Rolodex, who got me sucked in even further. And then as a grandchild blaming, Carla blames her addiction to these fabrics to Becca from Sambry Stitches. So Becca enabled Carla, who enabled me. So that means Becca is my grandmother enabler. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I am blaming Nicole, Carla, and Becca completely for this. So this is 2 weeks worth of, well, let's see. Let me show them in the order I got them. Let's see. Okay. So this was the first batch I got. This is Navy and Tan Ada. And I don't think I showed these in the last video, but if I did, I apologize. But yeah, this is Navy and Tan, and this is 16 count Ada. Isn't that beautiful? And I don't stitch on Ada a whole lot, but I thought that was really, really pretty. And unlike the Adas you get at like the big box stores, you can see this is nice and soft. It's not stiff as a board. So yeah, isn't that pretty? And it smells really good too. I don't know what you do to your fabrics, Brandy, but oh, they smell so good. Okay, so that is that piece. Also, and this was, she does a thing called Friday Night Fight Night. Generally every Friday night. She did not do one this week because she had surgery on one of her hands on Wednesday. So she's taking a week off. So the next one will be on the 28th. And you have to be a member of her Facebook group to participate. And she'll just throw up a bunch of fabrics, and the first person to chime in and say me or mine and claims it gets it. So the next piece I have, this is a 32 count Jobelin, and this is called Sandstorm, which is just an amazing, gorgeous neutral. How beautiful is that? Oh, and again, it smells so good. I'm going to have to go faster because I got a lot to get through on these. And then The next one came with that shipment, but this was not one I purchased. This is one I actually won. She hit, I don't remember now how many subscribers on Instagram, maybe 1,000, I think, and did a giveaway. And you just had to like the post, be a follower, and tag someone. And so I had done all those things, and I had tagged my best friend Tracy on it. Well, then she turned around and did the same thing, but she tagged me. Well, hers was the one that actually ended up winning. So she and I both got a piece of gorgeous fabric. This was a February fabric of the month from Brandy, and this is a 32 count Lugana. And mine is opalescent, and it is called Nova. How pretty is that? Yeah, I think you can see the sparkle of the opalescent in there. So pretty. And also, it smells so good. You have to be careful. People are going to think I'm weird. Well, most people know I'm weird anyway, so that's neither here nor there. And then, again, something else I did not pay for, but that came in that package, was this free chart called Search the Sky from Waxing Moon Designs. I believe this was a 2018 release from Waxing Moon. I think that's right. But it was on my wish list, and she was doing a giveaway, and she had a few different ones. And I did not win the giveaway, but since I had mentioned it was one of my favorites and was on my wish list, she threw me one in, which is really nice. She always buys multiples of things, and then she'll generally throw things in. She'll pick a winner, and then other people, she'll just randomly pick people to stick it in with their order. So then this next batch is from this past Friday night. So this is from the Valentine Day. So the first ones I showed you would have been from whatever 7 days, the 7th of February. Yeah, so that would have been after my last video. Yeah. This next batch is from the Friday Night Fight Night on Valentine's Day. And I did get duplicates of a couple of colors, but I got them in different fabrications. So the first one I got here is a piece of 32 count Jobelin in Princess. Really, really pretty. And since it's a 17 by 17 piece, you can certainly get a fairly large design on that. And as you can see, it was $13. $13 for hand-dyed gorgeous fabric. How can you go wrong with that? And her shipping is really reasonable too. I believe for this batch, I think it was maybe $4 shipping. It was very affordable. Because fabric is one of those things, it can get heavy fast. So postage costs can rack up. Okay, so the next piece is also a piece of Princess, but this time it is in a 32 count Lugana. And this will be a good representation to show you how colors can take to different fabrics. So this is the Lugana version. And this one was $20 because I got a fat quarter of it. And so now holding them side by side, you can see the difference. The Lugana is a little bit kind of a brighter blue, whereas the Jobelin is a little bit of a grayer blue looking maybe. So, I mean, the different fabrics, even though they're both 32 count even weaves, they definitely take the dye differently. So, okay, and now let me fold this one up real quickly. I'm having issues folding. It's kind of like a map. Okay, the next two are both going to be Toast, which is again one of her neutral kind of fabrics. This first one is a 28 count Lugana. How pretty is that? Ugh, love it. So that is Toast. kind of an orangey neutral. It's not orange. No, don't get me wrong. It's not orange, but it's more of a reddish tone, orangish tone than a gray brown, if that makes sense. And then the next one is a piece of 22 count Aida, aka hardanger cloth, also in toast. But you can see this doesn't look nearly as red as the Lugana, because they take the dyes differently. This is the Lugana, this is the hardanger, or 22 count Aida. Definite different, even though it's the same batch of dye, toast, the different fabrics take the colors differently. And I don't know yet what I'm going to do on this, but it's been a hardanger cloth, 22 count Aida. That used to be my jam back in the day. That's all I ever stitched on. And then I was introduced to even weaves and linens, and I switched over to those. And when I saw this piece come up, it was just like, okay, I'm going to kick it old school, and I'm going to get me some 22 count. So I am excited. I need to figure out a good project for that. And then the last piece I got is a piece of 36 count linen. Yes, Brandy does do high count linens. And this one is called Gold Rush. And I don't know if it's definitely different than toast. It's also a good neutral though, but it's definitely different from toast, even though, you know, you might think it looks similar. It's very different. I don't know if the camera's catching it, but yeah. This is definitely a gold color. Yeah. Where toast is browns and tans. Let's see, let me pull back. So yeah, you can see the difference. This is toast on the Lugana, and this is Gold Rush linen. Yeah, definitely different. And then in this last week's bundle, once again, she threw in a free chart for me. This was one that I had mentioned. I love the designer, and she had some extras, so she threw one in for me. And this is Spring Deer by Barbara Anna. How beautiful is that deer? I'm holding it at a bit of an angle to try and stop the glare from my window, but super pretty. Okay, so that takes care of haul. I have a lot of haul for someone who's supposedly on a Stitch from Stash diet, don't I? Yes, I do. I am currently $70-something in the haul. Yeah. Anyway, I will try my best to get it worked out and evened out. Tracy is doing much better than me. She is still in the black. She's like $10 in the black, and I am $70+ in the red. Oops. Okay, so now the bit I'm sure you've all been waiting for, the giveaway. I did have a giveaway in my last video in honor of my Flosstube anniversary. I was offering 2 different charts. The first one was Noelle from Bendy Stitchy Designs, and I used the YouTube random comment picker thing and searched for the word Noelle, and from those, the winner was Christy Martin. And Christy is a fellow Wilderness Lodge resort person in Magical Stitches with me, so I was super excited to see her name come up. So congratulations, Christy. If you would, just go by my blog. There's a link in the description box below, and you'll see in the navigation bar at the top, there's a contact me form. Just shoot me a message using that contact me with your address, and I'll get this out in the mail to you. So congratulations, Christy. The second chart I was giving away is Tiny Modernist Let It Snow. And once again, I used the YouTube. I always want to say Flosstube random comment picker, but it's YouTube random comment picker. And the winner of this chart is Bird's Eye Stitches. I believe her name is Robin. She is a person I recently discovered on Flosstube. And so if you have not checked out her channel, definitely do that. Again, it's Bird's Eye Stitches. So, yep. So congratulations. Just like with the other one, if you would, just head over to my blog and use my contact me in the navigation bar at the top and shoot me a message with your mailing address and I will get this in the mail to you. Congratulations. And so I hadn't really talked about it yet, but I'm going to talk about it now. I hit 3,000 subscribers. Yay! It actually happened, I believe, the day before my birthday. And I think I'm already up to like, 3,020 something now. So more people are finding me. So I appreciate that. And guys, I don't do a whole lot of giveaways. Because there are lots of channels that do big giveaways and stuff. And I just can't compete with that. I don't have the resources to compete with that. But I felt like, obviously, my Flosstube anniversary, that was a good occasion. So I gave away a couple of things. And now, obviously, hitting 3,000 subscribers is a big deal. So I want to do another giveaway. And I will say, I had originally planned to do a $30 gift card as one of my giveaways. Because $30 is 3,000 pennies. And so 3,000 pennies for 3,000 subscribers. I thought it was really clever and cute. But I have decided against that. And the reason being is, if you have not seen it yet, Danielle from Stitcherista posted a video this morning that for her, and she was celebrating 20,000 subscribers, which is way more than me, but still. She had done a giveaway and she was doing 4 gift cards and she got scammed. People were claiming that, hey, I won your giveaway, and, giving her their email information, because all the gift cards she was doing were email gift cards. And she emailed them out to people and then subsequently found out later that they were not the actual people who won. She got scammed. One company was really gracious and gave her another gift card, because she was doing all $50 gift cards. They gave her another $50 gift card to give to the person who did actually win. So at least she wasn't out money on that one. But with the Amazon one that she had done, she was just out that money because the people had already spent the gift card. So there was nothing Amazon could do. She sent it to the wrong person because somebody scammed her and, claimed to be who they were not. So because of that, I have decided I am not going to be doing any giveaways for gift cards or anything like that on my channel. If I do, then it would be something that it would only be to Stitchy shops. It would not be to Amazon or something like that. But for now, I'm just not going to do them. I'm only going to give away physical charts that I can mail to winners. So I apologize, because I know the gift cards are fun. We all love them, yay, pick out what I want, kind of thing. But in today's day and age of online scammers, I'm just not going to do it. So thank you for your understanding. If that annoys you, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. So anyway, so moving on. I've got 2 things I'm giving away that I will ship anywhere in the world. And then the third one is going to be US only because there's some weight involved to it. And I'm not going to pay what it would cost to ship it internationally. International postage is ridiculous these days for shipping. And I know you all know that, who live internationally outside of the United States, because you order from these online shops in the US and the shipping is crazy. And I apologize. I wish I could make it better, but I have no control over the post office. But anyway, so the first one I'm giving away that I will ship anywhere worldwide is Suffrage Act by Little House Needleworks. You know, I stitched this recently and finished it. And since it is 3,000 subscribers, I wanted to make it a little bit more special than just the regular chart. So I am including a piece of 32 count Heartland Lugana, large enough to stitch the piece on. And as you can see, I even serged it for you. I used my serger to serge it. So, yep. And I will say, because this was a little remnant piece I had, it was an end cut from something else I cut out. So it is a 1/2 inch shy of giving you a 3 inch on all sides border. So just know that you've got a 2 3/4 inch border on this. So just bear that in mind. If you start in the corner, you'll want to do 2 3/4 inches instead of 3. But, you know, 2 3/4 is going to be plenty to get it framed. I just wanted to give the heads up because I'm a corner starter generally. So, and I will try and remember to stick a note in with this so whoever wins, they will remember that. Oh, I need to fold it one more time. They will remember that they need to use a 2 3/4 inch border. So the keyword you're going to want to use in your comment for this one is the word vote. V-O-T-E, vote. And again, I will ship this one worldwide. Next up, another one that I have stitched and finished. But I will say, I always make working copies when I stitch and then shred them when I'm done. So all these charts are in pristine condition because I did not use them to stitch from. So this is the entire 9 chart collection of the Glitter Village series from Country Cottage Needleworks. There's House 1, House 2, House 3, House 4, House 5, House 6, House 7, House 8, and House 9. So, I mean, and this one is a little bit heavier, but I am still willing to ship worldwide. So if you would like to win the entire Glitter Village series, you're going to use in your comment, use the word glitter. So vote glitter. And if you want to enter both of them, that's fine. Just use the keywords, you know, both keywords in your comment. You don't need to use separate comments because I'm just going to, you know, use the YouTube random comment picker and search for that keyword. So now this final one, I am only going to ship this in the US because of the weight. I'm going to open this because I'll need to show you all the pieces parts. This is the Kingdom of Books kit. It is a Russian kit. I bought it, I think 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago from Russia. And I've decided it's just not something I'm ever going to stitch. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I have come to realize I don't think full coverage pieces are my thing. I've started a couple and I just didn't enjoy them. And this is a full coverage piece. So all of this wood grain up here and the tabletop down here, that is all stitched. So just so you know, full coverage. The kit includes the chart, which of course I can't show you. It includes a piece of Aida, big enough to stitch it on. And if you don't want to use Aida, you're certainly free to, you know, swap it out. This is what I would call your standard big box type Aida. It's definitely stiff, so just bear that in mind. But, you know, I'm giving this away for free, so don't shoot the messenger. And then it's got all of the flosses. There are, I think, 3 cards of flosses in here. So all of the flosses you need. And as you can see, it is a colored chart. I'll show you that much of it. And the instructions are in Russian, but I mean, it's cross stitch. So, and then, let's see if I can show this. There's like what the key looks like. And so you can see they've got numbers on them. And if you look at the cards, they have the numbers on them too. So even if you can't read the color numbers, which they are all in Cyrillic, as long as you've got the numbers, you can match it up. That's not going to be a problem. So, again, this one is US only just because of the weight involved with it. So if you would like to enter to win this full kit, which I did find one listed on Etsy, who is from the same seller I bought it from on eBay a few years ago. Her name is Elena. She is currently selling this kit for $42. So that is the current market value. I think I paid more for it when I bought it. I think I paid $49, but now it's $42. So anyway, if you would like this kit, use the word books in your comment. So we have books, US only, books, glitter, can go worldwide, vote, can go worldwide. And then again, Christy Martin, Bird's Eye Stitches. I think your name's Robin, I think. Reach out to me, use that contact form on my blog, and I will get those mailed out to you. And for the 3 giveaways I have for my 3,000 subscriber giveaway, these will remain open until my next video. So you've got, a couple of weeks at least, up to 3, depending on how soon I do my next video, to leave your comments. So I think that is everything. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. If you are interested, again, I mentioned it in passing, but there is the Leap Day Long Dog Sal starting on Saturday, February 29th. That particular sal is being organized by Erin at 2 Martini Stitcher. And it's just start any long dog you want. And the goal is to have it finished before the next Leap Day in 4 years. So plenty of time. And then I also mentioned in passing the Modern Folk Embroidery sal that Fiber Talk is starting. And that is I don't know if there's a date deadline on that one or not. I know the goal is to start either on Fat Tuesday or Ash Wednesday stitching on any Modern Folk Embroidery design of your choice. So I think that's it. Hope everyone has a lovely week, and I will talk to you next time. And one last shout out. Thank you for helping me get 3,000 subscribers. And I've also hit 3,000 followers on Instagram. So thank you all so much for being a subscriber and follower, or telling your friends, sharing my videos, sharing my Instagram posts. I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me. I am not in this trying to, be a big internet, YouTube, Flosstube star or anything like that. I just love cross stitch. I've been stitching since I was 8 years old. And it excites me so much to see how much other people enjoy this same wonderful art form that I enjoy. And I just want to be part of that community. And I am so grateful for those of you who find me interesting enough that you're willing to give up some of your time to watch my videos. It means a lot to me. I love you guys so much. Thanks so much for supporting my channel and following me and subscribing. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.